Good morning. This is my third year, ending the third year for my duty as your treasurer for the district, and I thank you for that. I have the opportunity of working closely in a number of ways with your district superintendent who, in a less than formal way, we share some children together. Steve's son and my daughter are married, and so we share some grandchildren. So oftentimes Steve and Gina, I refer to them in a less formal nature because of our family relationships that way. So if I end up saying Steve instead of Pastor Steve or DS Steve, forgive me for that because of our nature that way. So thank you for your friendship, and Gina as well. A year ago, when the Finance Committee met, obviously there was a lot of uncertainty, and when we put together a budget, the numbers that we were going to use, we had a lot of questions around that. Do we use numbers that we had in the past? Do we cut things back? What do we do with numbers because of what's the impact going to be financially on churches, on giving, that sort of thing? We basically decided as a committee that we're going to trust in God's faithfulness, in the faithfulness of the churches, and pretty much use numbers that we've had in the past as far as being optimistic, and use the numbers that we think are going to be there. And the interesting thing is, with all the uncertainty, when you look at what we budgeted for your church's giving, the fair share amount, we budgeted an amount of $385,000 for last fiscal year. We actually came in at $379,000, so $6,000 short, which, yes, we were $6,000 short, but I think given all the uncertainty, all the issues, some of the churches really struggling, some of the families and individuals struggling, to me that was a win-win and really proof of God's faithfulness, of your faithfulness as churches and individuals. So I thank you for that, and I think that was tremendous. I always say this with regard to budgets also. Budgets are budgets. You're going to have certain line items that are going to be more than what you budgeted. You're going to have certain line items that are going to be less than what were budgeted. The hope and the anticipation is that when all is said and done, the bottom line comes out to be fairly close to what you estimated. So if you look at this report closely, which not too many of us in this room are probably analytical and numbers people. I am one of those people, so I apologize for that. But most of the numbers, if you follow down what was projected to what was actual, are really, really close. There's probably one number that will stick out more than others, and that is new starts. Our new start actual number was significantly higher than what was budgeted. That is a good thing, people. It's wonderful that we can be spending more dollars helping churches either get started or for newly started churches providing them some financial support. So that is a good thing, in my opinion, not a bad thing. So in our overall budget, where we actually exceeded expenses, that was in new starts, and our total budget was actually exceeded, but again, due to new starts. The flip side of that was we had more income come in for new starts than what was budgeted as well, so which is also a very good thing. Another positive thing, in my opinion, that happened, and many of you are aware of this, part of the federal government stimulus package was what was called the Payment Protection Program, or PPP. I know a number of the churches, I'll say, took advantage of this program. The district did as well. We applied for a loan of $42,000, were approved, received the $42,000, and then subsequently submitted the application to have that loan forgiven because we met all the requirements, and I believe that was in May of this past year, or this current year, we were officially granted forgiveness of that loan. So technically on our books, for a short period of time, we showed a loan of $42,000 to SBA, or to the federal government. That loan has been forgiven. It does not show up in the books at the end of the year because the loan was forgiven, and subsequently does not show on our books. So, but just to make you aware that that was all happened within the framework of last year from the fiscal standpoint. Our investments, part of the finances, although not a P&L standpoint or a profit and loss standpoint, significantly improved from the previous year. as if most of you who might have personal investments or otherwise, the stock market has been good. Our investments performed well. We also had 2 church properties that were sold during the year that were the district's, and those were invested. Those will be funds that will be used for new starts down the road. And that is in a separate investment report following the treasurer's report. So I think that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I thank the district, the churches, for your faithfulness and your fair share giving. Again, things, in my opinion, for last year could have been significantly worse from a fair share, from a giving standpoint, but God provided individually for the families, God provided for the churches, and God provided for the district from a financial standpoint. So I thank you very much.
Is there a motion to approve the report? I see that. A second? All right, thank you. Any questions to the treasurer?